Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. I'm your co-host, Dr. Norbert, coming to you from the interwebs. And with me tonight is my dear co-host,
Jamie. You nearly forgot you were a doctor there for a second. Are you actually a doctor, or is this just like a username? Is it like a screen name?
No, it's both.
Okay.
It's both. Why not both?
Fine. You're actually a doctor. Okay. You could.
I didn't forget. It's just a very long day.
Yeah. Well, you could have said we're coming at you from across the Bifrost, because today we're talking about Asgardian characters, and finally the podcast name makes sense.
Yes, very good point. We're bringing it home.
There we go.
Unlike the English with football.
Whoa! Hey now!
Ooh, shots fired.
So we're talking about we're breaking down the Asgard affiliation bot. This was a massive injection of power, new toys, and some would say controversy to the Asgard affiliation. Asgard was pretty sad, right? Before this bot came out, the old Thor leadership wasn't that inspiring for people, and people were kind of down on Asgard.
Yeah, there was a saying that you could have, there was two types of Thors in the game. There was the good Thor that is printed on his card, and then there was Fat Thor.
Fat Thor, yeah.
Yeah, which was the same character card. It's just that none of the dice rolls went your way.
I would love it, by the way, if AMG did a Fat Thor. Like, he's sort of out of shape. Yeah. He's like kind of grumpy, but he has like, those like arch nemesis rules that like Green Goblin has for Spider-Man. He has that for Thanos. If he sees a Thanos, let's just go for him. I thought that could be fun.
Well, as it turns out, the new Thor here might be going after.
And everyone else. And everyone else, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So we're going to do Loki 2, which is officially called Loki, Prince of Lies tonight, along with Mighty Thor. I hope I got that right, because the two names...
No, wait, that's wrong. Mighty Thor is the wrong one. Yeah, so the Mighty Thor is Jane Foster. Today we're talking about the other one. Thor, Hero of Midgard.
Hero Thor. Okay, cool. All right, so let's start with Loki, because he has the leadership, and that'll be important. Okay, here we go. This is Loki, Prince of Lies. His name is Loki Laufey's son. Laufey's son. Yeah. He is on a 35 millimeter base, and he is a 5 threat. He's size 2. He can move long. He's got 7 health on his healthy side, 6 on his injured side, and his defense stats are 4 physical, 4 energy, and 5 mystic. Woo! What do you think? That sounds pretty chunky to me so far.
Sounds chunky, and it gets chunkier if you jump to one of the superpowers on his card. Yeah, I think that what they're getting across in this Asgard pack is, which I really love, by the way, is that these are gods, right? These are gods among superheroes. So they have big numbers. They've got big health pools, big defense dice, and they're obviously Asgardian 2-power turn thing as well. So it's very, they're very clearly a different breed of, they're a different race, I guess, right? A different, they're gods. So, and that's what you kind of get across all these stat blocks are like that, which I really like.
Yeah, 100%. So, this guy, Loki, the first Loki he was an average durability or whatever, but this guy, he's got fantastic defense stats. He's got a healthy amount of hit points. And moves long on a little base. It's incredible so far. Let's look at his passives because I think they play into what we just talked about in the stat block. The first passive superpower is just called Asgardian, and this is the one you're used to, where during the power phase, the character gains an additional power. Okay, so every power phase, he's essentially getting 2. The other one is the one that's bonkers. It's called This Isn't Mischief, This is Mayhem, which I can get behind. I'm thinking, is it Tommy Lee, the drummer from what the hell? The Motley Crue. I think he has a big lettered tattoo around his belly that says Captain Mayhem.
Okay.
Yeah? Have you never come across that?
I've never looked at Tommy Lee's belly that close. I'm looking at it now. I've Googled it. Yeah, Mayhem. Nice.
Mayhem. Well, I happen to see it on a certain tape that he did with what's her name?
Pamela Anderson
from Baywatch. Pamela Anderson back in the day.
Dude, by the way, actually, quick tangent. Pamela Anderson is amazing these days. I don't know if you've seen what she's up to, but she's in a film coming up. I think it's called The Last Showgirl, and It's doing so well at like Cannes Film Festival, all this stuff. I haven't seen it yet, but it's reviewing really well, and apparently it's amazing. And it's about being a Las Vegas showgirl and like sort of being in the kind of twilight of your life and still trying to do that sort of stuff. And she looks amazing in it. And yeah, anyway, I'm really into Pamela Anderson these days. I think she's great.
Yeah, obviously in her mid 60s, early 60s.
She looks stunning. She doesn't wear makeup anymore. That's her whole thing. And yeah, she looks great. So, there you go.
Okay,
check that out.
Right. Well, getting back to Loki 2, this isn't mischief, this is mayhem. When attacking or defending, this character adds skull results in the enemy's character's roll to its total successes. What? Okay, let's break this down. First of all, okay, it's skulls count, both attacking or defending, but not the ones that Loki rolls. It's whoever the enemy is rolling. So this is a tricky one because you need to constantly be on top of your opponent to tell you how many skulls they've gotten, especially if they can re-roll them themselves for some reason.
I find that Loki players at the start of the game will say, "Can you keep your dice on the table for me, please?" Because it's MCP kind of tendency to roll your dice, see the result, and then scoop them up. But Loki needs to take a second to look to see if you've got any skulls so that he can screw you over.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is just brutal. And I think this goes into some of the frustration players have about playing against Loki 2, because not only is the skull a null result for yourself, but it actually is helping him on top of it. So it's a double whammy.
Which really feeds into Loki just, being an absolute kind of trickster. Cunt. Yeah, you're right. He's a cunt. He's an absolute cunt. Yeah, and which is just very we read. I mean, we need to get to Oh My, What a Pity, because I think if there were MCP awards, I think this would be one of the nominations for most thematic superpower that they've made. Yeah,
the card is super thematic. I cannot fault them at all. It all makes perfect sense. It's just miserable to play against, which is probably what it's like to deal with Loki in real life. If you could,
it feels like you're playing against Loki. Guys on the table.
As a matter of fact, Loki in the latest Disney Plus series, where they're in the time management,
the TVA
thing. Have you watched
TVA,
it? The TVA, yeah. He, they keep having all the people around him act frustrated with him and stuff like that. I never really felt it. Like, I'm like, you guys, kind of, I mean, it's annoying perhaps, but not really like the level of frustration that they're portraying. If they were MCP players, though, I think they would be justified in that kind of frustration.
100%. There's I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals as well, as is everyone else. But there's a line in it where if Iron Man takes down Loki, he says something along the lines of, "Okay, Loki's down, but it's Loki, so I don't know. Is he down? Is he dead? I'm not sure." Like, it just kind of sums up perfectly. He's just constantly like, playing tricks and being a nuisance. And the old Loki was very good at that as well. Was it?
He was, but in a more subtle way. Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. He is just as aggravating, but he's in just a lot more subtle way, because he just has that bubble on, which is a tax, and you can kind of think about it and add your numbers to make it work. Whereas this, you don't really know, and it hurts twice as hard as what Loki 1 does to you.
Sure.
I think. Sure. All right, we're going to get into he gets worse. That was just. That was just the amuse bouche of aggravation. Let's talk about his attacks first, and then we'll come to the superpowers that just amp him up.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Right. He's got 2 attacks. Both are mystic. I'll repeat that, though. The first one is called Mischiefs and Magics. This is a range 3, 6 dice attack, 0 power. It's a builder, so you get as much power as you deal damage. And if you get a crit in a while, you bamboozle. Great word. Bamboozle. After this attack is resolved, this character may advance the target short, then the target character gains the root special condition. And I'll have to say, although it's mildly hard to get that trigger to pull off the 2 things, the outcome is fantastic. My God, is that really good?
Yeah, for sure.
Because your root is obnoxious, and you don't get it very often in the game.
Root is a very valuable condition, very valuable. And obviously an advance is great. Most of the times that advance will translate to a VP, or your opponent scoring 1 VP less because you've moved them off as a cure. Most of the time. And but with the trigger, with Crit Wild, this is probably only coming off like once or twice a game. If that, you're not relying on this. This is just a nice tech.
Right. It's the the kick in the nuts on top of the the damage you're taking. All right. His spender is called Clever Ploy. It's area 3. All right, let me repeat. Area 3. Do you know of an Area 3? I only know of Area 2.
Unless it's like a special like tactical card kind of attack.
Yeah. Area 3. What? Okay. 5 dice. Okay. Not super high, but barely. I mean, X-Men high, right? And this costs you 4 power. 2 abilities off of it. After each attack is resolved, if that attack dealt damage, this character advances the target character short. Allied characters in range of this attack do not suffer damage from it. So you get all the upside and none of the downside, and possibly move your opponents away.
For sure. We had actually, I recorded a Spider Foes dojo today for our Patreon. So if you want to hear that, go to our Patreon. We had Archie Cable on talking about Spider Foes, and he mentioned a horrific team up that I've never seen before of Mysterio and this attack. Because Mysterio can play Grand Illusion, so everyone within 3 of Mysterio turns their crits into skulls. So when Loki does this attack, all of their defense dice, he counts their skulls, then their crits become skulls, which Loki also counts. So you're increasing your chances loads to be able to push damage through, which is what you want to do with this attack, to then advance people off. Again, 5 dice, not a lot, but you are counting their skulls. And again, I think this is another attack that you don't make it because you want to move 3 or 4 people off the point, right? We shouldn't rely on it, but that's kind of like a nice extra that you can do. But,
on the other hand, it's easier to make this trigger happen on the spender. You have to deal damage. And furthermore, in both attacks, I should point out the advance is not towards or away. It's just advance. So you can do anything you like.
So I think you'll probably see Loki doing things like moving someone scary away from him and then moving someone squishy towards like Thor. Which feels again very Loki to be like, let Thor deal with that guy, and I'm going to send you for a walk over there. Yeah, it feels great. When this goes off, you'll rearrange the board and you'll feel amazing.
Yeah, it's power 4. Now keep in mind he gets 2 each turn, so if he did nothing in round 1, he can certainly do this already in round 2 if nothing else happens. Okay, he's got 2 superpowers, 1 active, 1 reactive. Let's go for the active one, which is really good but straightforward, called Go Forth. It's 2 power. Choose another allied character within 4. Place the chosen character within 2 of its current location, and it can only be used once per turn. So, fantastic. I mean, Red Skull's got this, but is he range 4 or range 3? Red Skull 3.
He places them 3, I think. But from range 2, I think. I can't remember, But yeah, this is great. And also, the thing to remember is this is an Asgardian, so they get 2 power at start around 1. So they can do this straight away. And Loki, thematically and competitively, is often next to Thor, hero of Midgard, who is your big hitter and you want him to go in and deal some damage. Loki can go for Thor round 1, meaning that Thor can then just move once and be on the midline. So that's huge. Yeah. Right. So Loki again, feels very thematic because he's like, you go and do my bidding for me, right? Go forth. Like, go forth and fight for me. I'm going to stay back here. So, feels great.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the reactive. Now, hold on to your seats, everybody. It's called Oh My, What a Pity.
Very good.
One power. Yeah, great name. Fantastic name. Which evokes to me the Disney Plus series, actually. Only 1 power for this. After an attack targeting this character or an allied character within 3, or after an attack made by this character is resolved, it may use the superpower. Okay? So either you're getting it, Loki's being attacked, his buddy within 3 is being attacked, or if Loki himself is attacking, can use the superpower. If the enemy's character's roll contains any skull results, that character suffers 1 damage. So, every time that an X-Men character is attacking him, desperately trying to get him down, they take a damage. So that's usually, let's say, it's a skull. Okay, they don't come up that often, but often enough. So you're going to take 1 or 2 points of damage, chip damage to begin with, And if he's attacking you, Loki's attacking you, not only do you take the damage that his attack dealt, but if you happen to roll any skull results, you take another damage on top of that. It's
huge. Yeah, it's huge. And this really adds up over a game. I remember first reading this and being like, oh, that's cute. That's cool. I don't mind. But 1 damage, every time you roll a skull, like, it really does come up and it adds up. And hilariously, I like that it doesn't work if how does it work? It works when you're targeting an allied character. Yes, if you're sick of attacking Loki because he's counting your skulls to defend himself. You're like, oh, fine, I'll just attack his friend instead. Then he can use this on you. Oh my, what a pity. So he's still influencing things, even when he's not directly connected, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah. So when he's attacking or defending, you have to understand that the skulls that you roll count double for him. Because he's got his passive, which means that he actually just counts it as a success. And then if he happens to spend one, that skull will also do damage to you.
And we'll get onto his leadership next, but he's always going to have power.
He has
so much
tons of power. Yeah, it's never a problem. And I wonder if that's the case in a splash situation. Because there's a question. I mean, he does get 2 in his power phase, but let's read the leadership to say where he gets even more. It's an Asgard affiliation, actually. It's called I Come Bearing Gifts. While another allied character is attacking, defending, or dodging, during the modified dice step, it may spend 1 power. If it does, it may re-roll one of its dice, and this character, meaning Loki, gains 1 power. So there you go. He's basically taking the power off of other characters in his affiliation, and just allied, any allied one. He's taking the power off of them and adding it to his own pool.
And they get 1 reroll for doing it.
And they get a reroll.
Which is brilliant. So the first sentence in this that we've seen before, this is original Black Panther's leadership. This is Invincible Iron Man's leadership. And they're widely seen as very, very good leadership. Probably top 20%, I'd say, leadership. People would probably argue that it's just, pay 1 for a reroll. It's just good. And then in this case, Loki's gaining power for it because obviously those guys, you're paying a power into the ether and it's gone. This one, Loki grabs it and takes it for himself. So you're just powering up Loki for this really good leadership, and this is just flat out better because the power is staying in your team.
Yeah. So the synergy should be obvious to anybody who's listening within Asgard. Obviously, it's not even Asgardian characters that I'm reading. His whole card just says allied, so it could be anybody, including your splashes, help out in this regard. Which is nuts. It's just nuts. He's in 2 affiliations, but before we get to the second one, anything else you want to add about this in Asgard?
I think that we're going to talk a lot this episode about the strength of Asgard, and it kind of shook up the meta when they first arrived, which we'll get into for sure. I think that Loki himself is not a huge part of that. I think the leadership's fantastic, and his oh my, what a pity, is really good. Go forth, activate other characters. But I found that I played a bit of Asgard actually, a fair bit, because they were my kind of Hellfire splash when I was sick of being forced into fight on research station. I just played Asgard and was like, all right, you want to fight? I'll fight you. And I found that Loki didn't do much. He kind of just runs around, being just a beacon of cunts in the middle of just I'm going to annoy you. I'm going to count all your skulls, all that stuff. So I think he isn't the problem, but in that, he's a piece of the puzzle, and he's just an annoying thing to deal with. And then when you decide, I'm going to take out Loki, he's then counting your skulls, and he's just a drain of resources and energy to go against. So he's not problematic in himself, and you see him splashed in a lot of places. He shows up in various just as a nice kind of annoying splash because he's just good, right? His kit is just good. But he's not necessarily he's not a centerpiece. He's just a little sprinkling of annoyance, I think. Yeah.
I mean, if your team is made up of a bunch of weenies, then you're in trouble. Okay. If you've got some kaijus or serious defense somehow, then yes, then you have a chance against this guy. But you don't want to send your little X-Men guys against this guy.
Yeah, they really need to punch through that stuff. And then the chip damage needs to not hurt them too much. You also remember that, oh my, what a pity, you're taking chip damage, you're getting power for that. So, doing that to the wrong character, you're just going to power them up and they're going to be kind of okay with it. I don't mind if, a Logan is taking chip damage because you're giving him power, he's going to hit it off afterwards anyway.
Well, okay. So you say that, and I agree. That's my first reaction. I'm okay, let's try to get Logan in there. He'll heal the chip damage off, whatever. The problem is Logan's got 2 defense and Mystic, and this guy's blasting him with huge
big
Mystic
attacks. Yeah, for sure. Okay, Logan was a bad example. I accept. But I think of all we're going to talk about how ridiculous strong Asgard are this episode. I think that Loki is quite a fair model in that, and very, very thematic and very fun. And if you enjoy Loki, and if you enjoy being tricksy and doing Tom Hiddleston impressions, then you should play this model for sure.
Right now, he's in Criminal Syndicate. I could totally see him being part of a Kingpin
Yep.
team, considering he can move people off points very easily.
And long mover, right? So you can deploy him centrally, and then he can double long to any secure in the game.
Yep. Shadowland Daredevil, same thing. He's going to be able to attack those people quite easily and get the advantage of the rerolls.
So the area 3 as well. You're gonna quite easily get at least 3 targets in an area 3 attack, right? And you're gonna get rerolls on every one of those with Shadowlands Daredevil. That's very cool, actually.
Yeah. MODOK 2, he doesn't want to be a bodyguard necessarily.
Well, I mean, does he not? He counts their skulls and he can pity them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. He's also expensive, though. Not that he's worth it, and not worth it, but he's 5 threat. And I don't know with Prims, if you want to put in, what's his name is MODOK 2 is already 4 point.
Yeah, true. He is quite chunky.
What else does he?
We're looking at MODOK now.
Yeah, MODOK. He's saying his affiliation is once per turn when an allied character is attacking or defending. If it is holding or contesting an objective token and has one or more wilds in its rules, it can change one of its dice to a hit or a shield. So it kind of doubles down on what Loki is doing in a sense. Yeah.
It doesn't actually help his trigger as well, to realize, because if you roll the wild, you can't change the dice to a crit, so you can't get the bamboozle trigger on your builder. So there's a bit of anti-synergy. Also, I think Loki is actually a character that you don't mind not standing on points as well, because he's kind of got this like aura around him of just annoying people. You kind of sometimes it's fine to not have him on a point, because he can stand in the middle of 2 points and influence both of them, maybe. So yeah, I think he probably doesn't benefit too much from MODOK.
Claw, he could actually be useful in because of his go force ability.
Yeah, Claw's your centerpiece, and then he can help move him around,
Okay, but that's a double 5 in your roster. That might be a little hard, right? Claw's 5, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
So that might be too much to ask for.
Yeah.
So Kingpin and Shadowland Daredevil for sure. Maybe some success in the other two.
I could see Kingpin. I could see him being pretty horrific in Kingpin, to be honest. Long mover, who is hard to take down because he's got such big stats. He's going to stay healthy for quite a long time. I think he could be quite great in Kingpin, actually.
Cool. Right. He has 2 cards attached to him. Let's go through the first one called Giant's Blood. It's unaffiliated, so he can take this wherever he is. It's reactive. When an enemy character ends a movement within 2 of an allied Loki 2, Loki 2 may spend 2 power to play this card.
Oh, it's Loki Laufeyson. So it's both?
Oh, it's both. Sorry.
Let me check. Yeah, Loki Laufeyson is his alias. So yeah, God of Mischief and Prince of Lies. So this card works for both.
Okay. Thanks for keeping me honest. So if an enemy character ends a movement within 2 of any of the Lokis, they can spend 2 power to play this card. Enemy characters within 2 of that Loki gain the slow and root conditions. Then Loki drops all objective tokens he is holding and is placed within 5 of his current location. I love this.
It's
I
great.
think this is amazing.
Yeah. It's strong and thematic. I love that he drops the extract, because it's so Loki to be like, oh, I don't want none of this. Like, you take that and then just leave, but he slows and roots everything. I didn't realize if one enemy moves within 2, he then explodes within 2, and every enemy gets slow and root. This can actually get multiple people if there's someone already there.
That's right. And only enemies, so it doesn't hurt your friends yet again.
Yeah. And slow and root's great. They're going to struggle to chase you. If they've got root, they can't web swing after you so easily. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is really going to get Loki out of trouble. Only costs 2 as well. That's crazy.
I know, it's just 2, which he's definitely always going to have. And within 5 means that you could just use it to reposition yourself to onto a point or something like that. Or if you get thrown into Africa, this is your way to get back into the game.
Yeah. I love that the enemy has to be within 2, so that when you drop this extract, they're getting it off you. Which is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Quite fun. But really good.
I would take this card.
I would definitely take this card, yeah, for sure. I think, especially on the Kingpin, I can see this being great, because place 5, if he's healthy, Kingpin counts healthy models as 2 when securing objectives. You could move into a different one. Place 5, you're probably going to be able to reach another objective. Like, okay, well, I'm not taking that one anymore. I'm going to take this one. And just don't give him an extract. Then he doesn't suffer at all, right? And then they're slowed and rooted, which is great for Kingpin, because they struggle to then chase after you. This is a great card. Yeah, I love this card.
Yeah. Okay, his second one is called Trickster's Boon. Now, this one's for Asgard only. It's active. During allied non-Asgard characters' activation, that's interesting, Loki, Prince of Lies, so just Loki 2, may spend 4 power to play this card. Pricey. Choose an allied non-Asgard character and an enemy character. Chosen allied character gains 5 power. This activation phase, if the chosen allied character dazes or KOs the chosen enemy character, you gain a VP after the effect is resolved. If it did not, during the cleanup phase, the player controlling the chosen enemy character gains 1 VP. The chosen allied character loses all of its power, and Loki, Prince of Lies, gains 1 power for each power lost this way. So basically, this is really interesting, and the picture on the card is exactly like showing off what's happening here. So Loki, you need a splash, a non-Asgardian splash in your roster or in your team board. You just randomly when you're active. When that splash character that you're interested in is active, then Loki spends 4. Okay, and you basically give him 5 power so he can do lots of stuff. But you also pick an enemy character, and it's up to the allied character to try to daze a KO that person, and you get a VP. If not, your opponent will get the VP. On the other hand, though, Loki, Prince of Lies, will gain all the power that the allied one had at the cleanup phase.
Yeah. Round of applause, by the way, for an extremely thematic card from AMG.
It's amazing.
Absolutely nailed it.
So good.
Absolutely nailed it. So good. Loki just going, do my bidding for me. You, mortal as well, because it's non-Asgard, so it's someone he doesn't respect. So he's like, go and kill that guy for me. And then when you fail, Loki gets the refund. It's so
I know.
Good. This is like Mephisto level, of a dodgy contract.
It's like a prelude to what Mephisto is going to bring later in the release cycle. Is it good?
So, I've got a cool, fun, thematic, and what everybody thought of when this card first dropped idea.
Okay.
The Killmonger.
Yeah.
So Killmonger has a card, usurp the throne, where he chooses someone, and if he kills them, he gets 2 VP. Loki can use this with that. So you power up Killmonger. Killmonger plays usurp the throne, and then Killmonger spends all that power doing single target damage. He's one of the best at it in the game, and just murdering someone. Because then you get a 2 VP from usurp the throne, and you gain 1 VP for this card. So that's the clear jackpot play, right?
Right.
So I assume 90% of people are doing that with it. There's also a cheesy play, which
let me just point out though that costs a 2 Tactics cards.
Oh yeah, it's big.
And a faction that has loads of good Tactics cards, so that's rough.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, this is an Asgard card. This has to be an Asgard. So yeah, I think it's a big cost, But if you're bringing Killmonger anyway, if you're a Killmonger player, you're basically always bringing usurp the throne, right? So this kind of helps him get it off, and then you get an extra VP for it. So yeah, it's a lot, but you're getting 3 VP, and you're dazing, their highest threat model or KOing. So yeah, it's a bit of a slam dunk. It's also a massive sign to your opponent what you're going to do. So my favorite thing to do against.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're going to do it. You don't play the card until it's that splash character's activation.
Yes.
So it's not like they can do very much about it.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do against Killmonger is to deploy my highest threat character the furthest away from them as possible, so to at least spend half a game catching them. But then this card helps him get it off because he gets 5 power for it. So yeah, that's the big combo I see. And then some people use this on a Black Cat, and they will give Black Cat 5 power so that she can steal an extract and then move long and then grappling hook away. And then you basically let your opponent score a VP because you haven't dazed or KO'd anyone. Black Cat's not going to do that. But you do now have an extract in a very safe spot. So over the course of the game, maybe you're then scoring more than 1 VP. You're scoring 2, 3 if Black Cat escapes. So that's a cheesy play. Not quite what the card was intended for. So I don't support it thematically, but it's a good use of it.
Yeah. I think if you have a plan in mind that this card could be worth it.
Yes.
He's going to have loads of power. So Forrest is a lot, but he tends to have a lot anyway. So that isn't too much of a problem. It's more of taking up one of their slots that's a problem.
Yeah,
in my mind.
I agree with that. Yeah, Asgard have a lot of amazing cards. So yeah,
but if you've got a plan,
I think it's the situation. I think this is in your 10, especially if you like playing Killmonger. I think you take this in Killmonger and you take it against teams where there's going to be one big threat character like Avengers, where you're going to see a Hulk, which again more thematic. I think Loki would probably pay Killmonger to kill Hulk for him. If you're against X-Force, where a big part of X-Force is killing their 5 threat leader, who is quite easy to kill. Cable is quite easy to get rid of, so that's a good card. So maybe it's very situational when you know exactly who the target's going to be sort of before you've hit the table. So yeah, I think this is a good card. You seem down on it.
No, I think it's one that it needs some thought.
Yes.
It's definitely fantastic. It's just like I said, I'm thinking about how tight Asgard is on cards because they have so many good ones, and so you can't just slam this in without thinking about it.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you don't want to gamble with this card because if you don't get it off, if you're going into a Hulk who's got 12 health left, and you're playing this card, you have to deal that 12 damage, for it to work. So I'd say you want to set this up a little bit by, if you're doing the Killmonger play, just make sure he can kill the character that he's going for. Play it around later after you've tipped them down a bit. Don't gamble with it because you'll lose a VP.
Yeah, for nothing.
Yeah. Also, there's big counterplay for this, like a bodyguard or sacrifice or fallback.
Oh my God! Yes, good, very good point. Yikes!
Yeah, and like I say, when I play Asgard as X-Men, I save Xavier's Dream for this card because I know where you're going. I know what you're doing with it. So as soon as you do your big 1 VP earning attack, I'm going to Xavier's Dream it, and it just turns this card off, and I get a VP. Thanks. So you got to be careful with that.
All right. Let us turn to his half brother, who heard the internet talking about his body shaming him, basically. Yeah. So he spent a year out in a fat camp somewhere, and he's come back as Thor, hero of Midgard.
He dropped the leadership, which I think we think that there's a bit of a theme here as well. By the way, there was some kind of conspiracy thinking yesterday with a few of the London MCP players at an event, where we think that their AMG will bring out a character with a leadership. The Thor had a leadership, and they're not great. They're paying what we call the leadership tax, and then they bring out the non-leadership version of that character, which is super strong. So there was some speculating over what might be in the Spider-Verse box that comes out next year. We think that we might see a higher threat Miles Morales without a leadership.
Sorry, give me a minute to put my tinfoil hat on. Where is it now?
But we have Black Bolt coming, Black Bolt, and they've said it's a higher threat than the Black Bolt that we have. So I think there's a trend of like, here's a character with a leadership, and then we're going to bring out a character without a leadership, and they're going to be really scary and strong. So yeah, we'll talk about this again when Black Bolt comes out, and I think maybe that'll happen.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he's dropped the shackles of being a leader, and Thor has come in swinging.
He's been working out. Okay, so he's Thor, Odin's son, like everybody knows. He is on a 50mm base. This is important. Medium-sized base. He is 6th threat. Okay. Pricey. But he's size 3 now. All that extra muscle. Bulk. He moves medium. Remember, on a 50mm base. Medium-sized base, moves medium. 9 health. And his defense stats are 4/4/4 across the board. So far, so good, hey?
I like that the defense stats are Thor. And him being a size 3, this is a spoiler, but him being a size 3, he has a pounce where he throws himself at you. So you get to say, okay, so Thor's going to throw himself at you, and that is 4 damage coming at you. I think that's intentional from AMG, by the way. So yeah, there's a lot of Thor's maths going on.
Okay. I should have mentioned he's 9 health on his healthy side, but he goes down to 8 on his injured side.
Lot.
Still
9 health.
9 health.
9 health.
Yeah, and he's got the daze mechanic. Because this is together 17 hit points altogether, which is just 3 shy of Hulk. Yeah. But Hulk doesn't have the benefit of the daze mechanic.
Yeah. Hulk's greatest weakness is that he can just get pummeled for an entire round, and the dazing doesn't. When a character dazes, the violence stops for a bit for them. I think that Thor is more survivable than Hulk, even though he has less health because of that. He can only take so much. Then he dazes, and then they leave him alone for a bit, and then he gets another turn to do something. So yeah, he'll probably stay on the table longer than Hulk.
Okay, let's look at his passive real quick. He's an Asgardian, so he gets an extra power in the power phase. He also has flight, and he's immune to shock, which is important because he's a beater. And so, taking away a dice from him is not an option. Yeah. Okay. He's got 2 attacks. The first one is an energy attack. Important. Energy. Odin's Ire. Range 3, 7 dice, no power. After this attack is resolved, you gain power equal to the damage dealt. So it's his builder. And then he's got 2 triggers. The first one is a wild lightning arc. After this attack is resolved, choose a number of other enemy characters within 3 of the target character equal to or less than the number of wild results in the attack roll. The chosen characters suffer a damage, which is very thematic. It's just out of the films. It's like, which one? which was the film where he lost his eye and then he did that charge up in the middle of the air on that bridge.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And then they played Immigrant Song.
Yeah.
That's what all plays in my head when this Thor hits the table. I just hear that song on loop.
Absolutely understandable.
The really cool thing about this, by the way, is it's per wild. So you hit someone and then you damage someone else per wild. So you'll get multiple people with it, which feels very cool. You can hear it like, cracking out. Great.
It's lovely. I mean, really makes sense. Yeah. The other trigger is harder to get. It's a wild and a hit, and it's a push. After the attack resolved, this character may push the target character short. Yeah. Again, any direction.
Yeah, the real scary part of that is any direction. Yeah. And a 7 dice builder, by the way, this might have been the first, I think, could be wrong, but the first 7 dice builder we'd seen.
What's Hulk got?
Hulk 6 dice.
No.
Wait, am I wrong?
I don't.
We're going to find out.
Hope so. Okay, I'm looking now.
We're going to find out.
Jarvis, help.
I'm wrong. Hulk has a 7 dice builder. Ignore me.
Yeah,
but range 3 is a big deal. And I guess Thor's job is to go in and like smash stuff, right? So 7 dice feels very oppressive. And then he's got the wild trigger, do chip damage around. This feels massive on the table.
It's off.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is effective. Yeah. Let's put it that way. Okay. But then that's his builder. Let's talk about his spender. This one is a physical attack. It's called I Would Have Words with the range 3, again, 10 dice, 4 power. Okay? Before damage is dealt, this character places itself within one of the target character. So help his movement. And after this attack resolved, if the target character is size 4 or less, this character throws the target away. Beat him.
Yeah, both guaranteed triggers.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Both guaranteed triggers, guaranteed size 4 throw. For 4 power. With a builder that's 7 dice and he's an Asgard, he's getting 2 power a turn. He has the power for this. The fact that this is a 4-cost builder is, I think, too cheap. This is amazing. He is just going to pick a size 4 and throw him into your team. Guaranteed. From range 3. It's crazy. Like, Thor is going to be up in your face. He's placing before damage is dealt as well. This is huge. 10 dice.
Yeah, why that's important, why that placing is important is because when he throws that person medium isn't too far off from a size 3, so he'll still be able to attack the thing that he just finished throwing.
Yeah, he can throw him, hit him again. He can, it's not hard for Thor to get 8 power as well because of the reasons I just mentioned. So he can spend you, throw you into your team, spend you again, throw you into your team again. Like, imagine he's just going to use Hulk as a weapon. Don't take Hulk into this guy. He's going to use him to hurt your team.
Yeah. Okay. Superpowers. He's got 2 active ones. The first is called Have at Thee. Cost 3. This character throws itself medium. If it does not suffer damage, if it collides with another character, terrain feature, it could only be used once per turn. Essentially pounce. Which, for a beater like this, is fantastic. Because not only does that mean he doesn't use an action to move, if that's what you're using it for, but it is essentially a third attack if you're already within range.
Yeah, and you're sending 4 guaranteed damage because he's size 3. So yeah, there's 4 damage coming at the opponent, and it puts him in the position that he wants to be in. Most of the time, when you have a big, we call them kaijus like this, the answer is to throw them away, so they have to move back. This just stops him needing to worry about that. He can just bounce back in and probably hurt you on the way in as well.
Yeah. His other superpower, active one, is called the Power of Thor. Power 3, cost 3. Choose an interactive terrain size, a feature size 4 or less within 2 and throw it long. Can only be used once per turn. There's a terrain throw within 2, but throwing it long, which is very rare in this game.
Long is very, very rare and very, very annoying. You think you're safe and you're not.
So that's a 4th attack. This guy could have 4 attacks.
4 attacks.
With it. Yay! So if you haven't got the message yet, this guy slaps.
Yes, slaps extremely hard. And then with 9 health and 4 defense, it just takes so much to bring him down. And if you bring him down and he survives, he's going to use all that power. He spends it so well.
Yeah. He's got 1 reactive superpower, and this is the end of his card. It's I Say Thee Nay, villain. Cost 3. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, it may use the superpower. If the attacker is within 3 of this character, roll 7 dice. The attacker suffers a damage for every crit or wild in the result and can only be used once per turn. So we've seen this before on a number of characters, but they usually get to roll 4 dice, maybe 5.
Yeah.
This guy rolls 7.
Yeah. And if that doesn't just sum up Thor in a sentence, I don't know what does. Yeah. It's an obscene amount of dice. I don't see this used much. I didn't use this much when I played Thor, just because everything else on his card is phenomenal. It's like a 10 out of 10, and this ability is like an 8 out of 10. Because Kristen Wilds is kind of rare. You're rolling 7 dice. You're probably going to do, let's say, 2-3 damage. Around that. But the 3 power, you can do all the other things that you can do, which you're going to do like 4, 5, 6 damage.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's useful if you're the weenie hitting him has only 1 or 2 hit points left, and this would just take him out of the game.
Cut an activation out, as if he needed anything more defensive. This is very good defense tech in that what you just said. If you have 3 health left, you really have to question, do I want to hit Thor? Because he could just do this and maybe just turn me off, just daze me mid-activation. So as if he wasn't tanky enough, this also just makes you think, maybe I just won't hit him.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. I don't know how to deal with him. People say stunning him is really good.
Yeah, stun is huge for Asgardians, because stun will stop them getting the extra power they get in the power phase. They say just get 1 instead of 2, and all Asgardians are balanced.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Because it's an additional power.
Oh, really?
So you gain a power in the power phase, so that's 1, so that's allowed. And then the additional one is a separate step.
Are you sure?
I'm almost certain.
Oh, okay. I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, look up the timing chart.
Yeah. No, here you go.
But
I've got this. Sorry, already got the answer. The Asgardian, so the Asgardian superpower changes the amount of power gained during step 1 of the power phase, adding 1 additional to it. So stun causes characters with any superpower that uses the additional wording to only gain 1 during the power phase.
Oh, okay. Huh.
There you go.
Because things like cube, like if you have a cube, cosmic cube, that's a separate step, and so you get
separate.
So this
amount.
actually modifies the power phase.
Yeah,
itself.
This gains 1 additional. So you should get 2. So when you're stunned, you just get 1.
Okay, good. Thanks for clarifying. That's good to know. Where was I? So stunning is good, but after that, you still got to deal with how tanky he is, particularly under Loki too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, stun. I mean, stun is very good. Stagger obviously is the answer to most big guys like this. You stagger them. Displacement helps, especially if he's stunned. If you can stun him and displace him, that's good, because like using Havatli, where he throws himself, that's his way to kind of counter being displaced, because he can just pay 3, get back to where he was, and then hit you really hard. So if you can stun him and then he does Havatli, it means he's spending his power on that, and he likely doesn't have power to do all the rest of his stuff. And then even if his builders go crazy, he's only gaining 2 power to then do one of his other things. So it really cuts down what you can do. So that's the answer. Yeah, you stun, stagger, and displace. You have to do all 3. So you have stun, stagger, and displace, and run away. So yeah. I mean, this Thor is really, you feel every threat in that 6th threat. He's really on the upper limits of threat, sure. Kingpin, though, by the way, I will shout out Kingpin. I'm a big fan of Kingpin into him. You do need to counter him.
Oh, yes. Tell him about this tech, because this actually, it seems like it's okay. I don't know how easy it is to pull off.
I literally, I bullied Thors in the TTS cuts recently with Kingpin. It was brilliant. So in Hellfire, granted, so you get a little bit of extra power, but Kingpin doesn't need much extra power to get all this stuff off. The Kingpin's builder has a wild stun. So there you go. Yeah, there's the stun we mentioned. That's really important. Kingpin's spender, which costs 3. It has a throw, guaranteed throw, and guaranteed stagger. So that's 2 of the things that are good against Thor. And then he has a 2-cost size 3 throw medium, which is basically another stagger because Thor moves medium. So the dream with Kingpin. Oh, also, sorry, there's one more thing. Kingpin doesn't suffer damage from collisions with characters.
Yep.
So the pounce doesn't work. So you can basically place Kingpin in front of your team. So that he's on a medium base, which helps. So the Thor has to pounce into him. He doesn't take any damage. And then if Kingpin survives, which he has a good chance to do because he's got 7 health, the dream is
and damage reduction.
And damage reduction, yeah, good point. So the dream is then to spend a Thor so that you stagger him and throw him. You throw him short so that he's just at the edge of 2 of you. Then you pay 2 for street level negotiation. You throw him medium. So now Thor is a medium move away and staggered, and maybe stunned if you like got the headbutt in.
Right.
And so that I find is the best tech against Thor.
Yeah, agreed.
But even that is not enough. Even then, you still need the dice to go your way. I remember doing that to him. I think it was against Cahul, who was a very early adopter of Asgard. Played him at Nations the day they came out. He was gluing them while we were there.
Yep, I played against him.
Oh, nice.
And almost beat him. Almost.
Nice. Yeah, they're very good.
Managed at the end.
Went 4-0 at that event as well. So Asgard, yeah, very good. But yeah, and even then, yeah, you're stunned, staggered, displaced, and you still need Thor to whiff a couple attacks for it to work, right? Because he can still, yeah, he's a monster. Anyway, there you go. Thor is good. Finally, Thor is good, because the old Thor was a bit lacking.
Well, depending on which one showed up.
Yeah, depending on dice.
The tricky bit was you never knew which one was going to show up. That was the problem. Okay, he doesn't have any cards attached to him, but there's a unattached card in the box that we thought we would talk about now, which is called Freya's Blessing. So this is an Asgard card. It's reactive. During the power phase, any allied Asgard character may spend 3 to play this card. 3 power to play this card. This character may reroll any number of its defense dice this round. I think it's a fair price for what you get. The question is whether rerolling defense dice is all that great, especially with characters that are tanky enough as it is.
Yeah, I think the cost is quite a lot. And how many defense dice are you planning on rolling this turn, Because there probably aren't many teams that are ready to go toe-to-toe with Asgard, And if this is an attrition versus attrition game, this card goes up, I think, in stock. If you're against, like a Midnight Suns who are all planning to attack you a bunch, then fine, this card makes sense. But I mean, yeah, you're paying 3 to reroll defense dice. It's fine. I think if this card was free, I still wouldn't take it every game.
I agree.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a bit of extra defense, which is important in an attrition versus attrition match. I think you take this in your 10, and if you're going up against someone who wants to fight you in the middle, then you take this because this could give you the edge. But yeah, I think the Asgardians have far better things to spend their power on.
Yeah, and card slots.
Yeah.
Just quickly point out, it's any number of dice, so you can pick the ones that you want to reroll, which does make it stronger.
It does, yeah, that is better. It's not reroll all, it's reroll any. So
yeah,
pretty good. But yeah, is it worth 3 power? I don't know, because yeah, I mean, like I say, all the Asgardians have great hits that they can do really cool stuff with. So meh.
Not bad. It's just competition is fierce.
Yes, for sure.
All right. That covers it for our 2 characters. Should we move into a related sleeve it or heave it?
Yes, we should, because it relates to why these 2 characters are together in this episode. So yes, sleeve it or heave it.
Sleeve it or heave it. Take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it. Can't you believe it?
All right, so this week's sleeve it or heave it is Brothers in Arms.
Okay. So this is an unaffiliated card. What? So this doesn't have to be an Asgard.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually. I always see it played in Asgard. Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. So we can talk about where else you might find it. It's an active card. Thor Odinson. So it could be either Thor, but let's face it, it's going to be Thor too.
Mm-hmm.
And Beta Ray Bill. Ooh, another little boogeyman. Mm-hmm. Who's Asgardian and Guardian.
Yes.
Okay. They each spend 1 power. 1 measly power. Each. What?
Can you tell that Norbert isn't a fan of this card so far? You've stopped on every word to complain about
it. While within 2 of each other this round, the characters that play this card gain the superpower shown below, called the Worthy. It's a passive superpower. This character, meaning either one, may not be advanced, thrown, or placed by enemy effects. Additionally, this character adds 3 dice to all energy attacks it makes.
Boom.
So, as a reminder, Thor 2's builder is energy attack.
Yeah.
And I think it's not a builder. Sorry, it's the long range attack that doesn't cost anything on Beta Ray Bill. That's energy.
No, it does cost 2. Summon the Storm costs 2.
Summon costs 2.
And also,
but that's the energy.
God
one,
Hunter,
right?
so he also has God Hunter, which I believe is energy. I played this card. I should know this. Yes, Summon the Storm and God. So Beta Ray Bill's 2 spenders are energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So long as they're within 2 each other, they get these extra 3 dice to their attacks. Very easy for Thor to use. Maybe a little harder for Beta Ray Bill because he has to spend them. On the other hand, he is Asgardian, so he gets 2 power. So his smaller spender, let's say, is always online, at least 1. And you can't move them around to get outside of 2 except for pushes.
Yes.
The one thing they, for some reason, are vulnerable to is being pushed.
Yeah, so that's important. The problem is...
But Thor's 2's got his pounce to get himself back into position. And in the right circumstances, Beta Ray Bill's got his aggressive that can move him back into the right position.
Oh God, yeah, I didn't think about that. So if you manage to finally get impact weapon on Bill, I can push him out of 2, he just takes the damage and aggressive's back to where he was. Oh my God, I didn't think about that. That's even more annoying. Yeah. So the real power here is that they can choose when to play it. That's the power. My suggested nerf for this, when people were screaming about how strong this card was, my suggested nerf was that it has to be played in the power phase, because then at least you get a chance to like separate them before Thor activates. But this card can be played at any point. So you just go, okay, Thor's going to go now. He starts within 2 of Bill. So there's nothing you can do. I'm now going to do 2 10 dice builders against you. It's crazy. And you know what's hilarious about this card? This card came out years ago.
Yes, that's right.
This is an old card.
Let's see. It came in CP 130, which is Beta Ray Bill's
Bill and Ulick, yeah. So no one played this card. Yeah. No one cared, because it only affects energy attacks, and the old Thor, his builder was physical. So I think his spender was energy. So no one cared. No one played this card. No one ever heard of it. But then this new Thor came out with an energy builder and completely broke not just this card, but the meta with this.
Yeah. And they clearly thought about it, because they put Thor's alter ego on the card instead of his character name.
Yeah.
So the intention was clear. Maybe they designed this card way before they thought of Thor 2. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I quite like it now that it's been dealt with, because it's been restricted, right? So now this card is a big cost for Asgard to bring. I actually quite like it as an idea of everyone, AMG and Thor himself was annoyed that the old Thor was so disliked that they were just like, let's bring in a Thor, and he is, lore accurate. He's an actual god when he hits the table and just destroys things. So, so this card broke the meta, to be dramatic. Everyone's complaining about it because it meant that Thor suddenly got 2 10 dice builders.
Tell him where. But tell him where. What crisis?
Oh, especially on Research Station. Yeah. The Research Station is, I'm not going to say what you know what Research Station is, but it also got made restricted around the same time as this card did. Because you would just play Asgard, Research Station, and also the 15th threat is you play Loki, Prince of Lies. Is that the right one? Loki, the one we just spoke about. Loki 2, you play Beta Ray Bill, and you play Thor 2 on 15, which is the most tightly packed 15 I think we've ever seen, outside of maybe Thanos Cabal, where you play Thanos, Red Skull, Zemo. But Beta Ray Bill is often is the most splash character in the game, right? One of the best 4 threats in the game. And then you have Thor, who is the killiest 6th threat in the game. And then Loki, he brings loads of really cool tools and great leadership for both of them. It was a really tightly packed 15. So a lot of people were screaming about this. I had people, I've not told you this, but very competitive players messaging me saying they're stopping to play MCP until the Asgard stuff's dealt with, which is a bit dramatic. But I understand it. I was playing it, and it was just stupid and broken and horrible, and but I was also playing Hellfire, so I had no soul. It was horrible. The card's been restricted now. So is Research Station. So if you want to take that combo now, you don't get any restricted cards anywhere else. So I think that cost is too high for most people. I know you're trying to find the numbers now, but I think most Asgard players don't take both these cards anymore.
Which are the 2 you're referring to?
Brothers in Arms and Research Station.
Oh, right. Yeah, because they're both restricted.
Yeah. And if you get that combo, then well done. It's a slam dunk. You're going to play your best 15 and then you're going to destroy anyone. But it means that in all your other games where you don't get Research Station and maybe Beta Ray Bill doesn't come with you, it doesn't fit on every crisis, then you're not playing with any restricted cards, which is quite a big tax. So I don't think many people take both these cards.
I agree, but I think they still take Brother in Arms.
Yes. No,
I would, because I think this card still makes sense on any point, just maybe only worth 1 VP instead of 2.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think anywhere where there's going to be a fight, the fact that it costs 1 each means it's basically free because they're Asgardians. Yeah. And Thor doesn't care because he's going to do 10 dice builders and get all the power in the world back. And you can activate it at any time. I think that's the real strength for this, is you can activate it at any time, so the opponent can't play around it. Because even if you've got a cool push, like I guess Ghost Spider can push Bill off out of 2 here. Without him getting the aggressive trigger. Even if you can pull that off, it's too late because Thor's done his turn. Beta Ray Bill doesn't care if he gets to use this or not. When I played it, I barely even used it with Beta Ray Bill. Thor killed everything by the time it got to Beta Ray Bill's turn, and he just goes and does something else. So yeah, that's the real problem here is that there's no counterplay. There's nothing you can do about it. You can try and keep Bill outside of 2 of Thor, for the whole game if you want. That's a way to do it, but I don't know how you do that. And Thor can just activate this at any point. And because it costs 1 each, it's just basically always online. So there's no counterplay. So there you go. Yeah. It's just the same.
What do you? Beta Ray Bill's affiliated in Guardians. Do you think you would see this make sense in a Guardians roster?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Guardians leadership is the wing in it tokens, right? And who doesn't love a wing in it, right? Every character loves 2 rerolls on anything. So I could totally see Guardians just playing this and splashing Thor. That's a good point, actually. I've got a Guardians of the Galaxy player on my team, and they're not playing Thor. I'm going to make a note. I'm going to tell them they should.
I mean, the 6th threat that Thor costs is concern. But, what's his name? Star-Lord's only 3. So 6 plus 4 for Beta Ray Bill is 10, and him is 13.
Yeah.
13. That means you still have a 4 threat slot in a typical 17 threat scenario.
Yeah, for sure. And this card's unaffiliated. So, yeah, I think if you're planning on, you could do the Asgardians of the Galaxy thing that the MCU never really delivered on. You could play it out in MCP, and then this card is fantastic for that.
All right. Well, that was a very filthy episode.
So we should also wait. I want to defend Asgard players here a little bit, right? So we have Matt Cole in the London meta. Okay, I love Matt. He's been playing Asgard since I started playing the game. No matter what,
before they were cool,
yeah. No matter what team he was playing, he would still shout "Have at thee" when he was rolling dice.
Yeah,
and I saw that "Have at thee" was on this card, and I thought of Matt. There are people out there that love Asgard, and they've not been able to play with this, with good stuff really for a long time. And then this box completely fixes that. And a lot of people, they get a lot of hate at the moment because Asgard became a big scary monster immediately when this box dropped, and they're still super strong. And loads of people jumped on it. I'd love to see the numbers of the games played on Asgard because it skyrocketed because they're a fan favorite, because it's new toys, and because they're strong. And also they're quite a straightforward attrition thing, which is just good for players to pick up. You know what I mean? If you're like, I want to play new stuff, what do Asgard do? They just punch people. Cool, I'll do that. So that's great to see, right? It's great to see a team that were basically non-existent. I think before this box had dropped, I think I played Asgard twice ever. So it's great to see that. But they're getting a lot of hate at the moment because they're kind of the big scary thing. So yeah, and I know what that feels like as a Hellfire player, of like winning an event and getting booed. That's happened. So yeah, I think Asgard players some slack a little bit, especially if they've been playing them and wanting to play Asgard for a long time, and run Kingpin more because he counters Thor. So.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
So look, I'm looking at the stats right now. Asgard games played spiked in August when they came out, as you can imagine. And then they dropped starting in late October, which I think was the nerf, right? Because that's WTC is we had to give everybody an extra week to figure out their lists because the nerf came through.
Yeah.
So they're still high, but they've dropped steadily.
Yeah.
They've dropped steadily from a peak of around 200 games or whatever. I'm not sure what the stats are. 200 was the peak. And they're down at the 75 game level now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Calm down a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think, they're cool. I think, these 2 characters definitely define this new wave of Asgard. And yeah, if you want to play Asgard, just play Thor. He's amazing.
All right. Cool. All right. I think that does it then. Thank you. Whoa. Where are the credits? Where can people find us? What can they do? All that kind of jazz.
Oh, yeah, all that stuff. Okay, cool. Well, yes, we are on Discord. We are on Facebook. We are on Blue Sky for some reason. Norbert wanted us to be on Blue Sky.
Well, it is the latest thing. I am a proponent of the Gen Z generation of gamers, unlike the snobby older guard than me.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So
I want to just keep with have the kids have a place to come and chat where they're comfortable.
Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense. We're also on Discord, which is the main place. Let's face it, everyone's on Discord for gaming. So yeah, we have a Discord and you can join that. All these links are in the description. We also have a Patreon. We do Patreon only episodes, well, sort of early access episodes, where we interview people who are kind of top on Longshanks, talk about their teams and how they build them. We call them dojo episodes because of what Across the Bifrost used to do before us. So they go to Patreon when they're most meta relevant, and then a little while after they'll get released as normal episodes so that everyone can hear them. So yeah, if you want to support the podcast and just help us pay for the subscriptions that we have to pay for to keep things running, then you can go to Patreon and help out with that. And yeah, we appreciate all the support.
Yeah. But most of all, thank you for listening, and let all your friends know about this wonderful game that we love to play.
Have at thee.